Okay, this is 3-1A, which is rate of change. And I'm coming from your workbook, but I'm coming from the problem solving practice. And it says for exercises 1 and 2, use the graph that shows the depth of water in a vase of flowers over 8 days. So for question number 1, it says find the rate of change for the line. And the thing that I want you to remember is that rate of change is found by looking at the difference in the y values over the difference in the x values. So I'm going to write that down. So the rate of change, is the change of y over the change of in x. So now, if they ask you to find the rate of change for the line, we need a couple points because that's the only way we're going to see the change in y's versus the change in x. So the first point when I look at that line that I can see is 0, 8. Then when I look for the next point, that they drew a point for us, so we can just use that point, and it's 4, 5. Okay, and if I look for one more point, I see a nice point on 8, 2. So if I look at these 3 points, I can look at a pattern that I see here, and this is the pattern. The x's are going up by 4. And the y's are going down by 3. So the x's are going up by 4, the y's are going down by 3. So if the rate of change is the change in y's over the change in x's, the change in y would be minus 3. The change in x would be plus 4. And we don't write the plus, we just know that it's positive. So this is your final answer. The rate of change is negative 3 over 4. It's just that simple. The difference in the y's, the change in the y's over the change in the x's. Number 2 says interpret the difference between depth in inches and the rate of change, and the day as a rate of change. So this is the answer to number 1. Number 2, they want you to say what this means. And basically what this means is that each day the depth of water in the vase goes down negative 3/4 inches. And the reason I put 3/4 instead of negative 3/4 is because I said down. Down is already telling you that it's negative, so you don't have to write down negative 3/4. So you could just write each day the water goes down 3/4 inches. That's what the rate of change is telling you based on the graph. And it really helps if you look at the graph because you can get a picture of what I'm saying better. Okay, for I'm going to do number 3 and number 4. But you're going to use the other graph that says long distance charges to answer those 2 questions. Okay, for number 3, it says interpret the difference between the cost in dollars and the length in minutes for company A as a rate of change. Excuse me, my allergies are acting up. So basically we're going to look at company A, look at the line on your graph that says company A, and I want you to follow along while I'm doing it. Look at the long distance charges graph, and the line that says company A I want you to find, let's find 3 points. So 3 nice easy points. So if I look the first easy one that I see, I kind of want to get away from the other 2 lines. Let's look at 4, go over 4 and up to $1. So you have 4, 1. And then you have, and let's change this. This 4 represents minutes, right? So let's put 4 minutes. So 4 minutes is $1. And then if we go over a little farther, 5 minutes is $1.25. And if we go a little further, 6 minutes is $1.50. Right? So now when we look at those 3, what pattern do you see happening? Every minute, what keeps happening each minute? Each minute, the cost is going up how much? 25 cents. So for every minute, this is going up by a minute, this is going up by a minute. Each minute, the cost goes up 25 cents, 0.25. So basically, that's what they're asking us to write. The cost is $0.25 per minute. That's for company A. The cost is 25 cents per minute. Okay, let's do number 4, which is asking us to look at company B. I'll do it up here. Number 4, company B says to look at the same thing. So let's look at the line. They want us to interpret the same thing. Let's find 3 points for company B. At 4 minutes, company B costs 50 cents. We got to write 4 minutes. If I go to 5 minutes, I don't really get a nice point, so I'm going to go to 6 minutes. 6 minutes is 75 cents. And 8 minutes is $1. So what's happening is the minutes are going up by 2, right? The minutes, each time you're adding 2 minutes. So let's write it over here. For every 2 minutes, the cost is what? For every 2 minutes, the cost goes up a quarter, right? 25 cents. And if we wanted to make that a little simpler, because usually we don't charge for 2 minutes, right? You don't, when they ask you, when you go buy your cell phone and you want to know your cost per minute, they're not going to tell you your cost for 2 minutes. They tell you for 1 minute, right? So if it's 25 cents for 2 minutes, all we have to do is divide 25 cents by 2 to find out how much the cost is per minute. And when we do that, we're going to get, let's see, we're going to get 0.125. So let's round it to 13 cents. We're going to round it off to 13 cents. So let's say that the final answer will be 13 cents per minute. So for number 4, company B is 13 cents per minute. Company A was how many? 25 cents per minute. And you're going to figure out what the rest is in class for number 5 and 6. You're going to find out those answers in class. We did company A here, and this was company B. And you're going to do C and answer number 6 in class.